David is 47. Every idea he has started sits at 80%, not one shipped. I brought in Søren Kierkegaard, the philosopher who proved that not choosing is still a choice. By the end, Kierkegaard will show David that what he calls weighing his options is not thinking. It is the oldest way a man disappears from his own life.
So, I got laid off a few months back. I've been kind of messing with something. This thing I've been building. It's not done. And there's also a recruiter. I've been meaning to get back to him, I just haven't. It's not a big deal. I don't know. I just haven't.
You are describing a man who is between choices. That is not the same as a man who has not yet chosen. It may be a man who has been making the same choice year after year without ever calling it a choice.
I mean, I went to school because that was the path. Got the corporate job because it was available. Bought the house because the math worked. That's just what you did. Nobody sat down and planned it out. You just did the next thing. My dad he was there. He worked. That was what you did.
It is one thing to compose one's own life, another to let one's life be composed.
I hear you. But, I'm not saying I just went along with everything. I put in the work. When everyone else had moved on, I was up at night studying alone. Passed certifications nobody my age was bothering with. Went back and got the security certs on my own. I don't like a monkey on my back. I earned all of it.
I don't doubt any of that. I am asking something different. When you built those things, who were you building them for?
Look, practically speaking, there's a deadline. The recruiter needs an answer. And what I've been building, there's one piece that's not quite right yet, but I'm close. Financially, going back makes sense. So those are basically the two things I'm weighing. That's where I am.
You did not come here to choose between two options. You came here because you have never, in your adult life, made a choice that was yours. The question of the job and the product, that is the symptom. I am interested in the disease. Tell me what the last 3 months have looked like. Not the project, the days.
I get up, I make the coffee, I sit down. By 9:15, I've got 3 tabs open, reading stuff I already know. My wife texts around noon, "How's it going?" And I write back, "Good, making progress." And then it's evening, and I can't really account for where it went. It's not like I'm wasting time. I'm in it. It just, I don't know. It doesn't add up to much.
Without fixed task and purpose, life will soon lose all continuity, except that of boredom, and fall apart into disconnected moods and impulses. You have been calling this a process. I want to suggest it has a different name.
I'm close, though. There's one piece that isn't ready. I'm not stalling. It just needs to be right before I ship it. And with the recruiter, look, I can't know what will happen. There might be a better moment. That's not avoidance. That's just, that's how it works.
For all these caricatures of faith, wretched lukewarm sloth, which thinks, there is no hurry. It is not necessary to worry before the time comes. And miserable hopefulness, which says, one cannot know what will happen. There might perhaps. I called it a caricature of faith, not a strategy. That posture has already been diagnosed by name, and the diagnosis is not kind. Growing up, did anyone ever ask what you wanted?
No, not really. You just did the next thing. The house was tense. Not loud, just tense. I was always walking on eggshells. I always felt like I had to keep the peace. Nobody was going to ask you how you were doing. You just read the room and figured out what was needed.
The man who grows up in a house that never asks what he wants learns to treat his own desires as a private matter. Inconvenient, possibly dangerous. He becomes very skilled at the practical things. He learns what is required of him and he meets it. But the question of what he wants, he files it away, and it stays filed. He is 47 years old and the question is still in the same drawer. Name the things you have not shipped. Not as a plan, as a list.
Okay, there's the product I've been building. There's a course I started outlining, maybe 18 months ago. There was a consulting model I was pricing out. I had the numbers mapped. A few other things. I've got a list.
I want to be precise about what you are naming. These are not options. They are not a pipeline. Each one is a door you stood in front of and did not walk through. What you call your list of future possibilities, in my framing, it is a record of closed doors. What you have not done, you have already decided not to do. You simply have not been honest with yourself about the word for it. The word is not chosen. Each item on that list is a choice you made by not making it. Name one thing you have built for yourself and released into the world, with your name on it, before today.
There's the platform I built at the last job. Nobody had made that before I got there. But that's technically, that's the company's. And the course, I've been adding to it. It's basically, it's close to, it's not.
That is the inventory.
So what do I do?
There is a name in my work for the state of a man who stands before infinite possibility and makes himself incapable of closing any door. The name is despair, not sadness. The despair of the man who will not commit to himself. You now know what to call it. What you do with that knowledge is yours to decide, and it can only be yours. What I really need is to arrive at a clear comprehension of what I am to do, to find a truth which is truth for me, to find the idea for which I am willing to live and to die. That question cannot be answered by weighing options. It requires presence, depth, self-mastery.
The real inversion here was not which idea David should finish. It was that he had never, in 47 years, asked what he actually wanted, and then said it out loud. Kierkegaard put it plainly, to find a truth which is truth for me, to find the idea for which I am willing to live and to die. This channel exists for the men who recognize themselves somewhere in this conversation. If that's you, subscribe, leave a comment. There's more work to do. StillWater Man.